So, where we last left our intrepid adventurers at. Greetings, YouTube. So, not much went on this last week. The front trim finally came in. New panel. This was one I already had. This one right here. The bottom one was new old stock, and it popped back out again. I'm gonna have to come up with a better solution than that. It came with new clips, but anybody who's using nylon clips from the 60s will tell you they are the spawn of Satan. You actually have to line up one side and tap the bottom side in. Yeah, I fought with that bottom one for about an hour until I gave up on the top. The top I actually used number 10 by 24 machine screws with washers behind them, and then the machine nuts with bolts with the washers behind them, and then use the nuts on the back end with a washer behind it to hold the top piece in. It worked a lot better, went in really quick and easy, and as you can see, it has no flex. Cannot find the original side trim that runs down the side of the car. That's actually 3M half-inch chrome adhesive trim tape. Never tried to do that before. It's about as close as a factory reproduction as I can get, because until I can find some, that'll do for now until it goes into the body shop and gets body work done. Probably next year sometime. She's got badges on her now. New American side came in this side. Mind you, this is a Rogue, not an American 220. I found that out the other day. The VIN number is actually an American Rogue convertible. It looks like at one point in time the fenders were changed to I guess he replaced the front driver and passenger side fenders and didn't bother to take the trim off the original ones. So yeah, trying to find Rogue emblems is a impossibility, so I just got another American emblem so it matches up on the passenger side. The one that's actually over here is cracked. I got to find another one. Let's see, what else did I get done? Oh yeah, just dress up stuff. Got the trim rings to go around the rims, so that made them that dressed it up quite a bit. The sail panels in the rear have been done. Mind you, it's a little dirty right now. I was in here working yesterday and there's some dust. I replaced the janky speakers that somebody had jerry-rigged in here before. So yeah, originally factory there was no speakers there. The only factory speaker in the AMCs was up on the dash, but previous owner decided to put the speakers there, so I replaced the ones you got, and those are actually boat marine speakers. Alright, moving on to the back. Mind the mess. I've been back here on the rear end working for a bit. I was able to get the original trim to go on the rear end of the car. Pretty. It's not new old stock. It's got some scuffs and dings. I can probably polish it out later. I did the same thing there. 10 by 24 sheet metal machine screws with the nuts on the back end of it. Fitted in. Got it all adjusted in. Mind you, it's going to look like it's a little wonky on that side right there. There's a dent in that rear, so it's a little hairline dent, so it kind of pulled it in a little bit further, but body shop will be able to work that out. Ran the chrome trim line all the way down both sides. You can see where I have never done this before, so I'm still learning. If you look down this side, you can see a wave right at the door. Right there. Yeah, I was still learning how to do it. Other stuff that came in. The windlass. Not sure if you can really see it. It's black on black. There used to be a big gap ran down the door right here. Well, this is all covered by factory windlass, so I was able to get new windlass material. Found out I kept hearing a rattle at idle. Hold on, put you down for 1 second. Smells like a warm engine. So, I kept hearing a rattle at idle. Turns out the factory, well, I guess that motor mount down there is shot, and I've got to take this motor mounts out and replace 2 motor mounts on this thing, which unfortunately my motor hoist isn't here to do that. What I was actually hearing was the symptom that I talked about in the first video. The alternator was actually at idle after she warmed up and had a little bit of torque on her. She was sitting there just tap, tap, tap away on the steering box. So I put a much shorter belt on her. I've got her almost at the end right now just to keep it until I can get new motor mounts on it. Belt's $5. 5 minutes to throw in there. It was quick, easy. At least until I can get the right belt for it. All right, so yeah, I was talking about the 10x24s. So if you look right there, focus, you frack. Come on. Okay, it's not going to focus on me. Stupid cell phone. Yeah, I used, like I said, went on the side here. Come on, focus on my finger. There we go. Good camera. All right. Yeah, it was a little bent up when I first got it anyways. But ran the, this has got a C channel underneath it. Took the bolt with the washer, slid it up in there, ran it down, lined it up with the holes, lined it up even on both sides, and then snugged them up with a with my zip gun, just to zip them down a little bit, snug them up, and it worked. So that's problem solved. So yeah, so that's where we're at right now. Oh yeah, last thing I did today, adjusted the kick down using a transmission pressure gauge. Factory specs on this engine was there's a 3/8 pipe plug right at the back of the transmission pan, slightly above the pan on the case of transmission. What that's for is to hook a transmission pressure gauge up to. When you get the pressure gauge hooked up to it, let the vehicle warm up. You put it in drive 1, because if you notice on the dashboard, there's drive 2, drive 1, and low. That is not second gear, first gear, low. What that is, that's low range. Drive 1 is power mode. It uses the entire gear range. Drive 2 is for economy, or if you were on slippery slopes, it will not start it in low range. It starts it out in second gear. So by the factory TSM for the Borg Warner M35 says hook up your pressure gauge, hook up your tach, hook it up, run it at 1,000 RPM for about 10 seconds in drive 1. Your reading should be 100 PSI. If it's too low, you need to come back here on the kickdown cable, which is right below. You can see it right there next to that heater pipe coming up. Right there. You come up to a turn. If it's too high, you go back a turn, and you keep doing that, and don't do it for longer than 30 seconds. You'll overheat the transmission. After every time you do it, put it in neutral, let it cool off for a couple seconds, turn the car off, make your adjustments, start it back up, try it again. It took me about 5 minutes to do it. You just keep extending it or retracting it until you get right at 100 PSI in drive 1 at 1,000 RPM plus or minus 10 PSI. I was able to get it right at 100 PSI. Took it for a road test. Kickdown seems like it's working a lot happier now. Transmissions doesn't feel like it's shifting a little bit wonky. According to the manual, the shift points, I don't remember what they are off the top of my head. I had the TSM out here earlier when I drove it, and the shift points are matching up almost spot on perfect now with what the TSM says your shift points for speed should be. But there is the update for the week. New carburetor. They sent it to the wrong address. They sent it to my billing address, which is up in South Carolina. It's getting sent back down here, so I should get it in next week. Once I get the new carburetor in, I'll do another update installing the new carburetor. I've got this one almost sorted out. I'm probably going to take this Holley 1920, throw it up on the shelf, drain it of fuel, throw some oil in it just to keep it from corroding on the inside, and yeah. Oh, yeah, last thing. So, for the longest time, I thought the fuel pump was leaking oil. Nope. Front seal. I'm gonna have to reseal the front end of it. It's not a lot, but it does spray over the side and it annoys me, so that'll be something future on down the road. All right, YouTube, well, have a great week. Enjoy Memorial Day, and as soon as more parts come in or I do something, I will send you an update. Have a great one.